Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Demon Souls. Now, just to start off, in case you're unaware, Demon Souls servers are still up. They're still working, so if that ever decided in you not getting the game, period, well, don't let that be a reason now. You don't have much of an excuse now. The servers are continuing. There's no date for them to go down. Which, of course, could change, which is all the more reason to go do it now before it's too late. The game's $19. No excuse. I mean, that's cheap for a really good game. So, anyway, Demon Souls. I'm going to try and not blab too much about Dark Souls, because I already did Dark Souls, but you know, some aspects are going to be comparisons. If you've played Dark Souls, overall it plays really the same, except take pyromancing out and the few moves from pyromancing into magic in Demon Souls. And you pretty much have a very similar experience. I mean, there's a lot of unique gear only in Dark Souls, say like the shield you could throw like Captain America's shield in a boomerang fashion, but I mean, like, you know, moving, fighting, you know, the basic stuff pretty much has the same concept, so. But in my opinion, Demon Souls is vastly superior to Dark Souls in multiple ways. One is the community online aspect, which luckily, like I said, is still alive now. So go get that. Anyway. In Demon Souls, it's an actual server, so, like, you put your sign down, you know, everyone in your range and everything, they can see it. Dark Souls, I forgot how it's referred to, but it's basically you randomly connecting to different people, and in a much smaller amount. So, like, as an example, let's just say 5 people. So, you know, if you're taking the chance those 5 people are going to either be trying to invite you to their game, or invade you, or it could be a blood pool. I mean, I know when I played Dark Souls, I was lucky to see a blood pool or 2 of that, so, I mean, it just caused the whole effect of the online experience to be shrunk in Dark Souls. 2, in design and aesthetic. There are certain aspects in Dark Souls, and this is purely very opinion-based, so don't. It's not some law of the world is doomed. But, Demon Souls felt a lot more complete playing it all. Dark Souls left kind of an empty feeling. There were several characters who have iffy origins of the possibility they had a bigger role that didn't get fulfilled. There was a dialogue that's been found on the disc, not used, pointing towards a much bigger story that doesn't exist in the game. The whole conspiracy of the pendant, which the last time I have checked, I haven't really checked in several months, but as far as I'm aware, nobody still knows what it does, and with DLC on the way now, there's probably conspiracy theories with that, and then of course the DLC itself is a conspiracy that they took some of the content that, you know, was left over and molded into something, so it just doesn't feel as complete as Demon Souls did as an experience. However, there was some unbalancement with items, which I mentioned in my Dark Souls. Well, items work very differently. I mean, they function the same, like how you use them and that. It's the quantity that changes. See, in Dark Souls, if you know, you have like a jug that you refill at bonfires that has a limitation attached to it. Why, in Demon Souls, there are 3 types of herbs and 3 types of mana items, and you could buy 99, well actually, okay, the basic form of them. There was some better versions, which are a little harder to get, actually, so there actually is more than 3 types, but basically you could have 99 of each type, and, you know, equip them, and PvP and that become a big issue. So that was a balancement issue that was addressed in Dark Souls, in my opinion. And Magic is basically the same concept, you know, with the mana stuff, so they just gave him charges, like in really old RPGs, like say Final Fantasy 1 and that. Or, well, I'm not really familiar with a lot of DOS RPGs. Like, I know Wizardry and that, but I'm not incredibly familiar with them immensely. So I know there's some really old Western RPGs that use the charge system as opposed to a mana pool. So, but basically they just went to a charge system, and that helped balance the PvP out a lot more with items. So that is an aspect that you have to deal with if you get invaded. Luckily, my experience through Demon's Souls, we playing in my Let's Play with Aaron, we only experienced one person out for our lives. So, luckily, the PvP community went down some in that. So, that's a good thing. So, basically, this is a game that came out in 2009. It's old. Does it still hold up? Yes, I do. Demon's Souls will probably be one of my top 5 games in the PS3's library, even when the console's dead. You know, a lot of people are speculating next year is going to be the death of this generation, and, you know, moving on to the next generation. Which, who knows? But it will probably definitely remain as one of the high PS3 titles, in my opinion. It's a fun game, and I highly recommend going out there and getting it and experience the unique online play, because Dark Souls has that online play, but not to the massive capacity that Demon's Souls has. It's such a smaller experience with it because of the limited amount of people you can be connected to. Well, in Demon's Souls, you'll be connected to everyone on the server. Now, you do need to know, there is also a little... Demon's Souls has Pacific region servers. You know, you have the American server, the Japanese server, and the PAL server. Why Dark Souls doesn't have that. You can play with Japanese people from America and stuff. So, there's advantages, disadvantages to that, you know. And I always like where you can connect to other countries. That's like always something I like in Final Fantasy XI. So that is a good thing about Dark Souls Online. But still, it's really hard to connect to a lot of people really quickly. It's a lot slower process. But the aesthetic design of Dark Souls, of Demon's Souls, they basically have a very similar design, very dark and bleak in that. It's not a very cheery, colorful game. It's pretty rare to have a lot of sparkly colors. Though there is a few instances where you can get a little colorful, but it's a very dark and bleak experience with a kind of very dark tone story. The story is both simple yet slightly convoluted when you're trying to get the bigger image. In the small image, basically, you go into this land that's covered in fog that's being taken over by a demon who got awakened by the king, and you die, you're trapped there. Period. You don't actually, die, but you're, phantom dead, but you're still attached to the world. It's kind of a give and take. You don't permanently die, but you never fucking can leave. You can check in, but you can never leave. But the bigger picture, you'll have to read descriptions on the equipment. That's how a lot of the lore is learned in the two games of Dark or Demon's Souls. A lot of the lore is attached to the descriptions of a lot of the unique equipment. So, it's a bit of a different way to learn the story and backstories of things, but it's actually interesting. It gives you an incentive to collect the gear, even if you're not going to use it, to learn more about the world that you're in. It's a fun co-op experience. It has good PvP. Well, Demon's Souls is a bit long PvP when you get to high levels. But, it is considered a hard game, though I wouldn't necessarily consider it hard. As I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my Dark Souls I'm not sure if I use this terminology. I usually use it a lot when I look for these, so I'm pretty sure I did, but if I didn't, I like to call it Mega Man Hard. When I say Mega Man Hard, I mean it's a game concept that was developed for you to experience and die, and then learn from what you did. But the big difference, in my opinion, between obviously the Soul games and Mega Man is that the Soul games, you can level up, thus, you can, to an extent, become vastly stronger than what you would probably be in a fail game. As for Mega Man, you can't. Well, unless you're playing with RPGs, but I mean like the platformers, where you just get new guns. But, I can't really add a whole lot to Demon's Souls, really, a lot of people reviewed it. It's pretty similar to Dark Souls in a lot of ways, aside from specific unique gear, the story, and, obviously different boss and environments, but the general gameplay is still really the same. But I consider it a much better game than Dark Souls as a whole. Maybe with the add-on with Dark Souls, maybe there might be some interesting new things. But overall, that's pretty much all I have to really say about Demon's Souls. It has a much better online system for experiencing, but Dark Souls has a few advantages, like I said, connecting to other players and such of different countries and that. So, but I highly recommend, if you were interested, liked, or played Dark Souls, I would highly recommend go Demon's Souls if you haven't already. It's cheap, you can still play online, and it's good. I highly recommend it, and it's definitely will always remain a classic to me for the PS3. If you got questions or anything, because I know this wasn't a very in-depth thing, because, well, to be honest, I don't know how much more I could have really added. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. If you got questions, leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. We'll hopefully review Xenoblade, which I have a lot to talk about.